All right. Mr. Log. Following you there? Alrighty. For those tuning in to this stream, this is the Project International Touring Series presented by Snail. It is Wednesday and it is round 1 of Season 7. These boys will be running the Ford Mustang Cobra Trans Am car for the next 6 weeks. That's 6, not 5. A little change to this season. The format's slightly changing a little bit. Let me turn down my computer volume a little bit so you can probably hear that in the background. It is going to be the best 5 out of 6 races instead of the best 4 out of 5. And a couple other changes are in place as far as teams go and teams points. This season, drivers will be earning, alongside their individual driver points, championship points, they'll also be earning team points for their efforts as a team with whomever they are paired up with. And I wish I had that list at the moment, but I do not, because quite frankly, I've been a little bit busy and I am not quite on top of it this week. Nonetheless, this is week 1 for this season. We have some really good competition here in this lobby tonight. This is going to be some fun stuff. Well, it looks like the guys are restarting the lobby, so let me jump over there real quick. Did the other room go kaboom, Jackson? Right on. Fallen, are you there, buddy? Oh, come on.
Send him one through that.
Yeah, as soon as he jumps back in here, I'll...
I'm still trying to get Fallen Log in here to commentate as well.
Hello. It seems that I cannot get my game to work tonight, so I'm guessing I'm just gonna call it.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
Your system not working properly, or?
It's not reading the disk tonight, so I'm gonna try to clean the disk and see if that works, but I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, if you do it right now, it counts.
How many speed, brother? Nope. Doesn't look like it's gonna work.
Not working? That's a bummer.
Nope. Yeah. Well, do you know if Pillsbury's gonna be on tonight, or?
I have no idea. They just started qualifying.
Right.
So.
And unfortunately, my laptop decided it didn't want to work anymore last week, so the hard drive went out on me.
Oh, that's a bummer. Dang. Just piling it up, isn't it?
Yeah, talk about having problems, huh?
Yeah.
I guess this is what I get for getting a new car instead of new equipment.
What'd you get?
A 2002 Monte Carlo.
All right. Cool deal.
3.4 liter. It's not a bad little car.
We just we were just on vacation in at Disney last week, or down there all week, and we bought a new car on the way back up. It was planned. I was planning on looking at something on the way down, or while we were down there anyways. So we had a 2007 CRV, which we bought new. But it was time. It was time to get something newer.
I just realized that my share settings may not be right.
Your what settings?
Yeah. My share settings.
Oh.
Yeah. Nobody's been hearing me this entire time.
Oh, that's not good.
Okay, I'm finally here. I'm sorry about that.
All right, so I've commented. The viewers have been listening to me talk to myself for the past 5 minutes. That's awesome.
Yeah, pretty much.
But at any rate, yeah. So we stopped in Atlanta and purchased a 2011 Mercedes R-Class. So we're pretty happy with it.
May actually.
Wife's been wanting something that seats 7 for some time now, so she's been liking that car for quite a while. So it's nice.
Nice.
Spacious, really comfortable to drive long term.
Well, the good news is, I'm not completely out. My PlayStation's got good enough internet on it to watch your stream, so.
Oh, that's good. So we'll have some secondary commentary. That's good.
Right up until Pillsbury actually gets in. If
Is
he does
on?
come on tonight.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll try our best to give you something. Unfortunately, we're going back to what we had, even though we made the room so that we could do 2 live commentators, but...
Well, you know, technical problems will be technical problems. There is not a whole lot we can do about it, so...
No, I'm thinking it's just the way the disc has been treated. It's not been... I've not been the kindest to my discs as of late, so... You know, trying to get all sorts of stuff organized, the discs have kind of gotten rearranged. Let's put it that way.
Gotcha. Well, as far as what's going on track, everybody can see we got about 6 minutes or so left in this 10-minute qualifying session. Here we're watching Red Nose. Glad to have him over here on the dark side. A long-time Sunday snail driver.
How many new drivers do we have going tonight?
We have a nice new crowd. We have F1 Madness. We have X-Rad. Everybody else is really normal drivers. I think this might be X's first or second race with these guys. F1 Madness is new, and everybody else is familiar with the likes of One Space, Hazard, Scatty, Mopar, Racer, Jackson. Unfortunately, our leader, Z93, could not be here tonight. He's got some internet issues at his place of residence, unfortunately, so he's not able to make the racing tonight. That's a bummer. And of course, Alex O'Neill is, I think he's got one more week of late work. So, it is what it is. It is a hobby, and not everybody can always be here all the time. So, but we have a pretty nice turnout here. We have a field of 12. It's not too shabby at all.
I will have to say about this new car, I do like the way it looks. It looks a lot better than I thought it would out on track.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. If I can, I'll get to some times here because I'm sure everybody was wondering. Currently, One Space on the provisional pole at a 122.371. Hazard level 4 is about 0.8 back. Nope, take that back. Vovik 05 has gone to the second spot at about 0.6 slower than One Space, and it's Hazard, Mopar in the 4th position, Filipino, Red Nose, Racer, Sketty X, User, Jackson. Mighty
Not gonna lie,
Mopar to the front at a 122.116. That'll best one space by about 2.5 tenths. I don't know if one space is going to get another lap or not.
If one space is out on track, he should be able to.
Well, he's not out on track at the moment.
Ah.
He could probably get another one if he leaves like right now. Here he goes. Let's follow. Let's follow. Let's see if he can get a couple more tenths. We're looking for a 21 for this pole. He's got to get around track once and then one hot lap. Volvic and Hazard very close on times at 1:23.012 and 18 respectively. Then Sketty at a 23.1, Filipino at a 23.2, X and Red Nose super close in the low 124s. Hazard has just gone to a 122.179, only 6/100ths shy of the provisional pole.
That's close.
I'm getting the feeling that this car might suit Hazard well.
I think it does.
Just a gut instinct, considering where we saw him run, you know, amongst the group toward the the last half of last season. He definitely didn't have this much pace compared to Mopar in that Corvette consistently. But we've only been seeing them run this thing for 9 minutes. We got a lot more to go over the next month and a half.
Have you updated these guys on some of the rules changes we've gone through for
Z
the
did.
off-season?
Z did make a post. Ooh, one space looking like trying really hard. That car had some nice attitude there. I always forget if the qualifying will count if you've already started or if it just cut off when the ticker goes to 0. 12 seconds. He won't make it to the line.
No, unfortunately the timer will stop at, your run ends at 0, so he will not get another lap in.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
And I need to...
See, this whole disc-based thing is why I invest in digital. To worry about losing a disc or having an issue with a disc or anything.
True. True. So these guys are going to get about 5 minutes to make some final adjustments. If you didn't notice, Mighty Mopar did stick the pole for this evening's events, or at least race number 1. Race number 2 will be a reverse grid, as it is every Wednesday night. 45 minutes apiece. Rolling starts times 2. 4.5 minutes, and we'll get her going.
Looking forward to this season. It looks like it's going to be fun.
I think it's going to be a really fun season. There's some fast. This is a really close group. There's not much to speak of between the front 3 and the middle 5 here. Really. It's This is going to be some good stuff. No doubt, attrition will play a part when the racing is this close. You cannot afford to have offs and spins and stuff like that. So, regarding new rules, as I spoke of when I first got online here this evening, the points doesn't change. The points system does not change for individual driver championships, but there is a change to the team championships. Previously, it was just a combination of each driver's best 4 out of 5 races. Now, first of all, this is going to be a 6-race season in which your best 5 count for championship points. But when it comes to teams, I know there's a simple way to put this, and I'm probably going to make it sound more complicated than it really is. But it is ultimately the best 4 paired results as a team. So your points to your team championship only count when both drivers within the team race on the same night. So if driver A races tomorrow, but driver B can't make it, driver A's points do not count, regardless of what they are, toward the team championship. And it will be the best 4 totals throughout the entire 6-week season for that. The points awarded is also different for teams this season, in which it is a straight 1-point difference between every position all the way down the field, rather than a 3-point jump from first to second and then a 2-point jump from second to third, like it is for the individual drivers championship. And the reason that it has been changed that way is because ultimately because of the way teams are structured, in which pardon me, in which Division 1 guys will often team up with like a good Division 4 guy, and when that happens, let's say you have 2 Division 2 guys team up, odds are that your Division 1 guys are typically going to finish toward the front of the field, which means they're typically going to have a points advantage because they often do finish in the top 3 or 4 positions. So it would be a little bit unfair if we use the same point system, because it would always kind of be a little more advantageous for the teams that include a D1 driver. I think that pretty much covers it. We got about not quite a minute left before we roll out for race number 1 of Season 7.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this entire new season. I like the new rules changes. Unfortunately, one of the rules changes was we did drop the room down to 14 so that people like me could join the room, but...
Right. Well, it's a bit moot tonight because we only have 12 drivers anyway, so not a big deal. Right. Not a big deal, really. So, but we're still going to see some fantastic competition, I think, here this season, nonetheless. Yes. Going back to divisions, I know like in Sunday Snail, and this is just to clarify, you had different lobbies for different divisions. This is a single lobby series, and most of us probably expect it to stay that way, more than likely. But we still categorize the drivers by division, and that's mostly just so that we can create fair pairings of drivers for the team championships. That's really all that's about. Alright, Fallen, I am going to switch over to the game chat so I can give these guys the green and make sure everybody's set and has a clear understanding of what's going on here. Alright, bye?
Okay, well, you do that.
Alrighty. Alright, boys, I know we got a couple of Pitts rookies in the field tonight. Let's show them a good, clean race. Or two good, clean races. I hope everybody is familiar with where their starting positions should be. We'll have a nice, clean pace lap here. And everybody will go when I call the green. Tighten it up. Green, 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 green! And I am back.
Welcome back.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Looks like a little bit of an issue up there at the corkscrew. Mopar has tossed away the lead, possibly. I did not see exactly what happened there, but he's currently shown in the 7th position. Hazard has taken the lead. But it is currently Hazard, followed by Bovic and Sketty are the top 3. Then one space, Filipino, X-Red, Mighty Mopar, Red Nose, F1 Madness, User in the 10th spot, followed by Racer and Jackson. Take that back, Racer up to 10th. Racer 420 in the black and yellow 77. That's User. I think in the red car. Yes. Let's see if Mopar can climb back up the field here after that situation.
Wonder what happened was maybe he overcooked the corkscrew or
Possibly. I don't know that there would or could have been any contact. Hazard was not super close, I didn't think. About half a second back at that time. And I don't think that he would have just kept going had he made contact anyways.
no.
Nonetheless, Mopar working over X-Rad for the 6th position. Oh. Here's a little gaggle.
A little bit long.
So we have Sketty in the black and white car, the 28, following Vovik in the red, white, and black car just the front. It's a pretty good battle right here. Coming through start-finish, down the hill to the Andretti hairpin. Sketty taking a wide entry. Gonna power out of that real strong. Definitely has the advantage coming out of 2. Speaking of, I forgot to make a turn sheet this week. Oh.
Oh no. Man, it is getting really windy outside. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Oh, a little bit of air there by Vovik. There's some good battling back here, mid-pack as well. It's Filipino X Mopar still in the 7th spot. Still has not been able to overtake X-Rad, and doesn't seem like he's getting a whole lot closer either. There's a ton of, there are good, great battles all over the place. These guys are just dicing it up everywhere. Sketty has given up the 3rd place to 1 space. It is now 1 space on Vovik for the 2nd spot. Sketty looking for P3 back. If this is any clue as to what this season's going to look like, it's going to be ridiculously good.
I will definitely be in the room for next week's race.
Yeah, you better be, because you are. I mean, I know you're seeing the stream, but
yeah,
this is pretty good stuff. I don't even know where to go to. These battles are all over the place. Here's Mopar trying to get back to X. Mopar got a tighter apex there. Nothing doing. It's still hazard level 4 out front. He's got about 3.4 seconds on Vovik 05. Mopar going around the outside of X-Rad. Will he try to stick it here? Just side by side by side. Not quite going to be able to pull it off. Maybe here to the line. Will X be able to defend on the inside? In the hairpin? Nope, he's going to give it back. Going to take a wide entry. Nothing doing. Mopar's got that position in the bag. That's for the 6th spot. Meanwhile, 2 and 3 are just right there. Half a second separates them. They are similar paint schemes, but I do not believe they are teammates. I don't think so. No, because that would be 2 D1 drivers. Getting pretty aggressive here. Oh! Vovik got a little bit loose. I think 1 space to the 2nd spot. Hazard goes purple. Last time by at 122.8. 1 space goes purple, 122.770. He owns sectors 1 and 2. Hazard still has sector 3. Well, that would be his personal best, I'm sorry. Mid 28s for sector 1. Mid-low 22s for sector 2. Let me look at Mopar here for a second. He is 3.6 seconds behind the Filipino. That's just an FYI. Let's see what's going on at the back of the pack. Red Nose 58, hanging out in the 8th position. He's got a 4.3 second lead on F1 Madness. There's F1. User ID in the Cyflex number 55. Currently running in the 10th spot. He is 3 seconds in front of Jackson. Mopar still about 4 seconds behind Filipino. It doesn't seem like he's catching at the moment. Really, it just seems like he's trying to hold off X. Because he got by him, but he hasn't been able to walk away. Oh! Did X spin it? I don't know if... I think he just got really sideways, but lost a lot of momentum there. Well, I tell you what, Hazard's lead has shrunk to a mere 3 or 4 car lengths. One space really trying to rein him in. You know, Fallen, this is pretty impressive. Let's go on space, on board with 1 space here for a lap or so. Really getting as much as he can on these apexes. Getting really close here. Wow. Big advantage to that turn. Let's see if we see the same advantages and the same turns as we did last time by. Yep. He's definitely got his number here. Oh! Oh, no! No, 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 no. So that's going to put Volvic to the lead. Hazard in 1 space still going to hash out their differences. They're back to 2 and 3. Well, Hazard being back to in front of 1 space, but they're going to be tracking down Volvic now. There's less than 25 minutes left in this race. And it looks like Hazard's in. I'm guessing he probably has some damage from that. Or maybe it's time for tires anyways. We're about halfway through the race. Close to it. A little shy. A few minutes shy of halfway through. The field has spread out a little bit. Most of the gaps are over a second. Filipino in the third spot here, running very strong. Only about a second behind one space at the moment. Volvik's in the pits. Will he be able to maintain the lead through this cycle of pit stops? I would think he should be able to. X-Rad's in the pits, Sketty's in the pits, Mopar in the pits. Here comes Hazard through the final turn now. First car out of the pits. There's Vovik. There's Hazard a little bit behind. There's Sketty. Red Nose making a move, it looks like. That's Red Nose and Mopar going at it. Let's get a different view. This is for position. Mopar is by. And Red Nose 58 in for his pit stop. Coming in from the 8th spot. And X-Rad will go by. X has already made his pit stop, I do believe. F1 Madness coming out of the pits now after his stop. F1 looks like a little bit of front end damage. Nothing too awful. So after that cycle of pit stops, we have one space to the lead. Followed by Filipino, who's only a second and a half back. But then it's Vovik. And he looks like 29 seconds behind second place. And here's Hazard. Following Volvic for the third position. Let's see how this cat and mouse pans out. Hazard goes a little bit wide on that dog leg. That does nothing but slow you down, unfortunately. Oh! I think Hazard just caught a glitch. That thing just stopped him right in the middle of the track. Oh man, what a bummer. That is not the first time we've seen Hazard have glitch issues that are none of his making. That's going to bring Mopar up a little bit closer to him. Mopar started on pole for this race, had some sort of an issue up at the corkscrew about lap 3 or so, and has struggled, quite honestly, struggled to claw his way back into the top 5 of the field. Currently in 6th, chasing Hazard. But that's no easy fight, because Hazard's pretty fast. Up at the front of the field, looks like one space finally has pit. And he's going to come out in about the 5th or 4th spot. Just in front of Hazard. Well, that's about a second and a half or so. 2 seconds maybe. But it is the Filipino with 16 minutes left who has control of this race. He's got control of this race by 25 seconds. And an off. Is he trying to get into the pits? I think he held on to that car as long as he possibly could. So it's going to be Volvic 05 to the lead here in just a few hundred yards. Followed by Sketty. And then one space. And Filipino should be coming out. There he is. Looks like he's going to get... He's probably going to end up in 6th? Yes, because Hazard's going to have the momentum to go by there on the exit of the hairpin. And Mopar is still back there a bit behind Hazard. He just does not seem to have the pace tonight to catch up to these guys. Not as dominating as we've seen him in past seasons. And like I said pre-race, attrition will play a factor, and it is. does Filipino have the pace to keep up with Hazard? Certainly looks like he does. Nice apex there for Filipino. He's gonna have a run here. Will he take advantage? Nope, not quite. Just a little, hey, I'm back here, don't forget about me. Nice line. Oh, he's got that one. That was pretty. Hazard's gonna have to let him go there. Oh, he's not gonna let him go. He's gonna race him really hard. That was a heck of a nice pass, though, by Filipino. You gotta give him credit. Let's see if he can catch up to him again. I have a feeling he can. He knows where he's better. Filipino really able to keep tighter lines than Hazard at this point in the race. Car just seems to have a little bit more grip. Even that turn right there, he turns in much more abruptly than Hazard does, and the car just sticks it. Tries a wide entry early throttle out of that turn, but it doesn't really seem to work. A little wide there, but not too bad. Not as good as it was last time by. Very nice. So we're watching Filipino hassle Hazard. Yeah, you try it. Get back to me with that. Sketty's got 0.8 of a second over Vovic for the win in this race at the moment, but this is the closest battle on track for position. These two are giving it all they got. Filipino losing a little bit of time here. Ran a personal best last time by at a 1:23.4. But Hazard's kind of checking out now. And Filipino burn up the tires, get him a little dirty. Don't know. Closer toward the front. Vovic on one space for the second spot with 9.5 minutes to go. You're watching the race for the lead up at the front here. Volvik's got a bird's eye view of the lead of this race. He could be in the catbird seat. Those guys get too out of control. So that's Sketty in one space, respectively. Sketty going a little wide. Volvik ready to pounce. Volvik waiting for a mistake. Eight minutes to go. Tire smoke everywhere. Burn them up, boys. Burn them up. Volvik's ready for you. Yeah, they got pace through there. Very nice. Volvik very consistent through the corkscrew. Sketty putting a little bit of space on one space. Starting to stretch out now. Oh, it's getting close again. Just a few tenths. Sketty has it. One space wants it. Volvik's watching. Oh, struggles there. Six minutes to go. One space. Sketty. Second place, first place. I was just about to say, one space doesn't really have to be super aggressive here. He's got plenty of time, but he's not gonna wait around. He's on the outside. He is by. Sketty's going to have to get it back if he wants to take the top step of this race. But as those guys battle, Volvik's closed up a little bit. One space, Sketty, Volvik 05. That's your top three. And Volvik goes around at the top of the corkscrew. You know, I've been watching him the last couple laps as we were riding with him on board, and the line looked good, but the card sounded sometimes like it was hopping a little bit. One space, purple sector 2. Does Sketty have anything for him? One space is already drug out. A second and a half. Vovic's out of the picture. Going through the order, it's one space, Sketty, Vovic, Hazard, Filipino in 5th, Mopar still in 6th, followed by X-Rad and Red Nose, F1 Madness, User, and Jackson. Round out the field. But at the front, it's one space, walking away. Now 1.8 seconds. One space last time by 23.2. Sketty 23.7. The gap's now 2.1. We got about 2 laps left in this race, and provided one space keeps all 4 tires on the black and gray, he'll be running to his first win of the of season 7. And he's looking solid right now. Super solid, actually. Car looked very stable. One Spades with a 3-second lead over Sketty. And throughout the field, there's nothing less than a 3-second lead over any position. So currently, here's your running order. With 45 seconds left to go in this race, one space, Sketty, Vovic, Hazard in 4th, Filipino, Mighty Bullpart, X-Rad at the 7th spot. Red Nose 58 in 8th, F1 Madness 4 in 9th, User in 10th, Jackson in the 11th spot. It looks like we did lose... We lost somebody. We lost Racer. And that is your not so official finishing positions. One space, Sketty, Volvic, Hazard, Filipino, Mighty Mopar, X-Rad, Red Nose, F1 Madness, User, and Jackson. Let's see if I can actually save a replay this time. It looks like I'm going to get an opportunity to. Yay!
Yeah, I think like 30 after the league. At least 25.
I actually got to save a replay that time.
It's all good. I just wish I had hit that man button.
Racer. Alrighty, spectators, we're probably going to have about a 5-minute intermission here. So these guys can take a short break, and then we will get right back to race number 2. See you in a few. Just a couple minutes, Jackson. Just a couple minutes before we fire up.
Do they have like a 5-minute warm up or no?
Yeah, we are. Let's make sure everybody get their thumbs up.
Yep. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call out the order now so you guys have an idea where you're going to be starting. Oh, hold on, let me bring this photo up. Give me 1 second. Alright. Jackson. We'll start first. Second is User. Third, F1 Madness. 4, Red Nose. 5, X-Rad. 6, Mopar. 7, Filipino. 8, Hazard. 9, Vovic. 10, Sketty. 11, One Space. Oh, yep. My bad. Odds on the inside. So I'll go through that one more time. Jackson's first, then F1 Madness second, Red Nose third, X-Rad fourth, Mopar fifth, Filipino sixth, Hazard eighth, Vovic ninth. Dang it.
Hazard 7, Robic 8.
Yes. Sketty ninth, One Space 10th. Yes, sir.
So, Filipino, I expect you to get me a head start. Yeah, it's Robic, you're 8. It's less than sure who's talking. I guess you can look at it right now.
Personal computer.
It's true. It's true. Exactly what I'm asking you. He's on the right now. And that information's going to go out for your position.
Shit, man, I gotta talk to that. I like that reverse. This is
Well, you get in behind you, so that way you can't hit the liberty again. No, I'm just playing.
I think I raced everybody. Well, doing great. Oh boy, Filipino, ready? So surrounding. That's the red was the
Now you're fine where you are. You're just gonna go over it.
Alright, let's tighten it up, please. Remember who you're racing. Cold tires. Let's have a clean one. Green, 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 green! And welcome to race number 2. We are just 5 minutes into this reverse grid race. It is Red Nose 58 at the front of the field, followed by Hazard level 4, just now with that pass over the Filipino, now in the 3rd spot. Mighty Mopar in 4th position, followed by F-Wood Madness, Sketty, 1 space, Volvic, X, and Jackson. Looks like we have a Sketty off track. I did not see what happened there. I think it might have been on screen, but I didn't see it. I was looking at scoring. It is currently a Hazard at the front. Ran a 1:23, 8:24 last time by. That's purple on the race. Here's Filipino in the 3rd spot in the white car. Trying to chase down Red Nose for 2nd. That's the silver and blue just ahead of him. Let's see it from the bumper view. Coming into the final turn. That is Hazard at the front of the field. And the yellow and black just ahead. Let's see what Filipino can do through the Andretti hairpin here. Apex 1, Apex 2. A little tighter. Yep, it's going to have momentum here. Oh, no! Oh, that's a bummer. I hope he doesn't have too much damage. It looks like, I think it was, he was racing Red Nose there, and he maybe got a little bit loose coming off of the, coming back on track after putting a couple tires off. Well, it doesn't look too bad. Not coming into pit, so I'm assuming it's not in too bad a shape. Maybe it just sounded a lot worse than it actually was. Nonetheless, Filipino in the 3rd spot. And after all that little bit of chaos there, it is Mighty Mopar to the 2nd spot. And he's going to chase down his nemesis, Hazard, level 4. And yes, I just called him the nemesis. I don't know why, it just seemed appropriate. So there you have it. It's officially Mighty Mopar versus Hazard. I'm calling it for the season. It'll be these two. Well, it's about a 2-second gap between Hazard and Mopar. That's 1st and 2nd. It's about... This race is actually gapped out a little bit, quite a bit quicker than the first race did, interestingly enough. Volvic's only about a 2nd behind Filipino. That's a race for 3rd. Here's what it looks like from Volvic's bumper. Here's a guy running 123s following a guy running 124s. Gonna have to do it on the outside. Easily by. What a beautiful racetrack to see out the back window. Look at that. That's awesome. Let's not forget about these two. Whoa, ho, ho, ho. I feel like I'm just always a day late and a dollar short. Mopar got a nice line through there. Let's see. It's about 8/10 past that blind dog leg into the corkscrew. Much straighter line by Mopar, and it's going to pay off in dividend. That 8/10 went to 1 car length in about half a mile. Oh! Mopar put a tire off or something. That was crazy. And actually didn't lose too much time. Unfortunately, there are brake markers missing all over this racetrack. Well, the first one's still there at the hairpin. That's kind of good. I don't think anything is left at the corkscrew, though. It's 1.3 seconds to the lead at the moment. And it's dwindling down. A tenth here, a couple tenths there. It's now 6/10, and we just about have, yeah, we got ourselves a really good race for the lead right here. Hey Pills, good to see you following. The cars look great, man. The competition is super fierce. At the moment, you can see Mighty Mopar trying to take the lead of this race over Hazard. Looks like he's got overlap here. Can he do it on the outside? Not quite. The competition has been really close at this race. These cars race really well, in that it's the little things. It's being smooth, it seems, pays big time. I'm assuming these cars are fairly heavy, so when the grip's good, the grip's probably really good. I haven't driven it, so I haven't really known. I really should throw a couple laps down, just to get an idea of what they're really like. But just looking at it and just assuming what it is and how it, you can see these cars have a lot of suspension travel. They look very soft. Most likely because they're fairly heavy. Side by side to the hairpin, Mopar trying to take the lead away from Hazard. Does he have it? He does Hazard has an off track, trying to keep that thing from spinning out. And he's going to lose second. That's Vovic that's gone by. So I take it back, a relatively... I don't know that I would call... I mean, 2,800 pounds, it's lighter than a stock car. By quite a bit. You know, I'm not one that's super familiar with the class and what road racing was like during the heydays of cars like this, but it seems like these cars have a whole lot of tire. Yeah, that's right, Jeff. They're about 3,600. A modern day stock car is. So these are substantially lighter than that. And Hazard having some troubles keeping this thing. So the running order is, if you are watching, Mighty Mopar is in the lead. Vovical 5 in second, followed by Filipino. That's your top three. One space Hazard and X-Rad, or 4, 5, 6, with Jackson in the 7th spot. Sketty having a fairly difficult race back there in 8th, followed by F1 Madness and Red Nose in the 10th position. Really surprised to see Sketty back in 8th place. I'm assuming he may have had some troubles. I don't know if he had an incident or if he's had to stop for some repairs. I don't know, but it is definitely out of the ordinary to see Sketty back in 8th place. Now, granted, this is a reverse grid start, but we are 20 minutes into this thing. And for a driver of his caliber to still be 8th position is a bit concerning. Talking to Pills, who is active on the live chat, Jeff Helms, Pillsbury. Not quite a full field tonight. We started with 12. We started with 12, and we lost a couple drivers due to disconnects. Z was not able to make it tonight because he was having some major internet issues at his place, unfortunately. So he was not with us this evening. But nonetheless, we got some pretty darn good racing going on. There's Filipino, 1 space. Oh, pardon me. I am a bit tired this evening. Hazard has quite a bit of front-end damage after that contact with the inside wall after the corkscrew. And he's in for some repairs. Maybe a bit more repair. I want to see this visually just pop back to perfect. Or you know what? I don't. It's full damage, so it probably won't change completely. So Hazard's got his pit stop out of the way with 23 minutes left. Probably earlier than he really wanted to, but, you know, maybe this plays to his advantage a little bit. Maybe he can get a couple, 1 or 2 spots just through cycling. We'll see. Coming out in a little bit of traffic. That's Sketty in front of him. Filipino into pits. Vovic's into pit. 1 space still out on track in the 2nd spot. Mopar still leading. Ah, good for you, Jeff. I was fortunate enough to go to the inaugural race back in 2012 at COTA. I would love to see the new cars. I just don't want to hear them. So we still have 1 space in the lead, followed by Mopar in the 2nd spot. Vovical 5, Filipino, and Hazard round out the top 5. It is then Sketty with Jackson, F1 Madness, with Red Nose and X-Rad rounding out the field. We are about 18 laps into this race. We got about 19.5 minutes to go. This is race 2. It is your current leader who has taken the the points lead after race 1 of the season 7 season. That's really redundant. That's such an awful way to put it. I keep wanting to say like the calendar year or something like that, but whatever. And for those following along, let me... where was I looking at? I need the first page. So next week will be at Hockenheim Classic. Hockenheim Classic. Oh yeah, we've never had problems with that. Clear weather. And then on the 19th, oh, you know what? I may not be able to commentate that day because I'm having dental work done. On the 26th will be Watkins Glen Short, and then Zolder on May 3rd. That's going to be a good race. I like Zolder, one of my favorite tracks. Probably my personal favorite track in the game. And then the Sonoma Grand Prix circuit on the 10th of May. So again, that's next week, Hockenheim Classic, then Road America, Watkins Glen Short, Zolder, and Sonoma will be Season 7. And then, after that, we will have... I don't know if we're going to do... I suggested doing... rerunning the Group A challenge that I put together, I don't know, probably a year and a half ago or so, which is a really kind of a cool event. I think we were even considering possibly doing it with the Group 5 cars, back and forth or something like that, as a non-points kind of for fun event. Just something to do between seasons that's a little less serious, but still entertaining, and something that has a significantly different format as well, just for shits and giggles, really. So Hazard with the beat up front end, running in the 4th position, not too shabby. He is actually only 37 seconds behind the leader. That's really not that bad, all things considered. The car's been turned around. He's got to make it another 16 and a half minutes, though. I think he probably pit a little bit early, but he should be... I think he'll probably be okay. Just got to stay smooth. But it's one space in the lead, with Vovic and Filipino behind him. Vovic's 14 seconds back of one space. I'm not sure if one space has pit. I would imagine everybody has pit by now. I did not see the cycle as clearly as I did the first race. Mopar in the 5th spot here. Car looks clean. Sketty in 6th. Coming to the final turn. I saw someone dive in. There's F1 Madness coming around the final turn. I think that's Red Nose coming to the pits. And man, this game just puts everybody in the wall coming into the pits. Jackson in 9th. X in 10th. But it's still one space with a 13-second lead, but it is dwindling. It was 14 seconds just a minute ago. A second and a half lost just in about one lap's time. So it is Vovic about 11 seconds back of one space for the lead, and then Filipino's about 18 seconds back of him. There is no race for position on track smaller than about 4 seconds, so everybody's pretty spaced out at the moment. It's interesting that the first race with a heads-up start based on qualifying actually was tighter for far longer than this reverse grid race. Once all the faster guys got by, it really spread out fairly quickly. Even amongst themselves, the battles have not been as close for as long as the first race. Very different makeup here in race number 2 tonight. Ugh. As you're watching F1 Madness cycle around, he's done a 1:24.3 this race. Not too shabby. 1 space lead has dwindled down to 7 seconds. Vovic's on a tear. With 12 minutes to go, I'm not too sure 1 space is going to be able to hold this. I really don't see it happen. It's another 6/10 just in the past 15 or 20 seconds. Let's time this out. Let's see. 12:10, 6.4 seconds. With 11:10 remaining, it is now 3.97 seconds to 1 space. It is greater than 2 seconds a minute that Vovic is catching 1 space. And you can visibly see how quickly Vovic is catching him. It's now 2.4 seconds. Mopar has just gone purple, 1:21.288. Except he's in 5th. It's good to be fast, but it's better to be first. I don't think this will be a battle for very long. The speed difference is enormous here between these two cars. I don't think that one space could possibly block enough to hold Volvic up. It's just not realistic. He will simply enter a corner with the right amount of gap and get to the throttle sooner. It'll probably happen entering the corkscrew. That's what I'm going to say. A better run. This car's probably got way more grip. Oh, he tried it there, but had to back it down a little bit too much. Well, I don't think he'll get him up the hill this time by. Well, he's not that far back. I think his car's got a lot more grip, too. He's not going to be close enough here. Now, if you're Volvic, you want to be smart here. You don't want to throw it away. You don't want to create an incident. You're way faster. You want to... You really just want to consider your options and execute. Volvic going to keep it nice and tight through the hairpin that time. He's going to follow. Line him up, put the pressure on, force him to run a line he doesn't want to, and then just drive by. And he doesn't want to be on the inside here, that's for sure. And he will let him go. Smart driving, one space. There's only so much you could do there, bud. But it is Volvic to the lead with one space in second. Filipino in third. Hazard holding on to the fourth position with Mighty Mopar in fifth. Sketty in sixth. F1 Madness in the seventh spot. X-Rad eighth. Jackson ninth. And Red Nose in the 10th position. Hazard trying to track down Filipino here in the final stages of the race. He's about 2.7 seconds behind him right now, with about 5.5 to go. I don't know if he's losing or gaining at the moment, but it is the almost the closest gap on track. Yeah, definitely the closest. Volvic stretching out over one space very quickly. Hazard's got that gap down to 2.1. He might have time to make something happen here for the third position. He's got a beat up front clip, but that's not going to stop him from looking for another podium. I should say a podium. Bubik up front with a commanding lead, 1 space, losing lap time late in this race. Last time by a 1:27. Filipino last time by 1:23. But I don't think Filipino's going to make up 4.5 seconds in only 3 minutes. And Hazard just lost some time himself to Filipino. That gap's over 3 seconds now. It has gone the wrong way. What you see is more than likely what you're gonna get, folks. Fovico 5, 1 space, Filipino, Hazard, level 4, Mighty Mopar, Sketty, and F1 Madness in the 7th position, X-Rad, Red Nose, Jackson, and I am commentating. Filipino, 2.4 seconds back. 1 space really struggling for pace late in this race, and it's getting progressively worse by the turn. Filipino will catch him. He's going to have, he should have this lap and another to get it done. Now, just like Volvic, he has a car that is significantly faster. It's just a matter of being patient and calculating and executing. Not every corner is a corner to pass. And it looks like he's going to be able to do it on the main straight. Tuck to the inside into the hairpin, and that'll do it. Doesn't even take that long. Yeah, poor 1 space just can't even get to the throttle coming out of that that last turn. The car just doesn't have the grip right now. And he just ran a 26.9, and that's actually not too bad, considering the amount of grip that he has right now. We're looking at 40 seconds left in this race, and aside from that final lap pass, this is most likely what your finishing order is going to look like. Volvico 5 is going to take the win. There he is. He's going to have one more lap. Then, provided no on-track issues, you'll have Filipino. 1 space is going to hold on to a podium, I do believe. Hazard is too far back to do anything with him. He's 17 seconds. Then it's Mopar in 5th, Sketty in 6th, X-Rad 11 in the 7th spot, F1 Madness 4 in the 8th, Red Nose 58 9th, and SW Jackson, our weekly host, in the 10th position. Oh, look at me. I'm actually going to get to save another race replay. And there you have it, folks. Volvico 5 is going to be your race 2 winner, followed by the Filipino. A nice P2 finish. Then one space, Hazard, Mopar, Sketty, X, F1, Red Nose, and Jackson. I certainly hope everybody has enjoyed the racing this evening. I think this is going to be a fine, super fine season. Some really good competition. I'm hoping to see some interesting storylines. I think next Wednesday we'll have a better idea of what these teams look like. We'll have some team names. We'll have some official pairings. We had some very last minute get-togethers before the racing started tonight. So come next Wednesday at 9 o'clock EST, we'll have some stories for you. We'll have some teams. We'll have some names. We'll have some standings. You can always check GT Planet, our thread on GT Planet, for ongoing conversations between drivers and other people within the league, and also our Facebook page. You can just search Project International Touring Series and find us there. And with that said, I thank you for joining me, and I hope to see everybody next week. Good night, and take care.